Welcome to this explainer. Right now, at this exact second, an absolutely incredible phenomenon is taking place right inside your own body. We're going to explore a fascinating, disciplined army that's operating within your veins as we speak. Think about the sheer scale of this for a second. We walk around every single day completely unaware of the trillions of microscopic soldiers marching in perfect formation through thousands of miles of blood vessels inside us. It's this vast, highly disciplined force, and it's quietly carrying out a vital mission without ever asking for recognition. No vacations, no breaks, not even for a fraction of a second. In this explainer, we're unpacking this microscopic marvel of our blood. We'll look at the staggering logistics of how this disciplined army functions, and we'll dive into the profound philosophical questions our source material raises about how such an impossibly perfect system came to be.
So let's just dive right into this logistical mystery. Think about it. Who is actually coordinating this silent army in your veins? In your bloodstream right now, you've got millions upon millions of cells performing absolutely identical, highly complex tasks every single second. But when you look closely, there's a glaring question. There is no central microscopic brain inside these cells commanding their movements. There's no tiny biological general barking orders on a cellular battlefield, telling them exactly where they need to deploy. They just do the work. They know exactly where to go, what to pick up, and what to drop off. How does a silent, disciplined army of this magnitude operate with such perfect, relentless synchronization without any visible coordinator? It's a puzzle that's fascinated biologists and philosophers alike for a long time.
Section 1. The Oxygen Transport Machine. Let's look at the fundamental unit of this disciplined army, the red blood cell. Now, what's truly mind-blowing is that these tiny carriers don't even possess a nucleus. In the vast world of cellular biology, the nucleus is essentially the control center, right? The brain of a cell that dictates all of its complex functions. But the red blood cell, it's completely stripped down. To be the ultimate foot soldier in this army, it makes this incredible biological sacrifice. It literally ejects its own internal command center right before it enters your bloodstream. Why? To entirely dedicate itself to a singular duty. It is by definition a highly specialized miniature carrier, perfectly streamlined to maximize its chemical precision and efficiency. No extra machinery, no distractions. It exists for one job and one job only, executed with absolute perfection. Now, these specialized cells don't just float around aimlessly. They form this continuous, flawless cycle of chemical exchange that literally keeps you alive. And the process is remarkably elegant. It operates in 3 distinct phases. Step 1. Inside these specialized cells, hemoglobin molecules act kind of like microscopic hands, perfectly designed to capture oxygen as it enters your lungs. It's an exact chemical handshake. Step 2. This oxygen is then meticulously transported through a massive, labyrinthine network of blood vessels to every single corner of your body, delivering life-sustaining energy to the tissues that desperately need it. And then, step 3, they don't come back empty-handed. They collect carbon dioxide, the cellular waste product, and carry it all the way back to your lungs to be exhaled. It is a perfect, never-ending loop of supply and demand that genuinely puts our modern global delivery systems to shame. And here is the crucial point. Over 100,000. This exact process, that perfectly balanced oxygen and carbon dioxide cycle, is repeated hundreds of thousands of times a day. And it's done with absolute, unwavering chemical precision. Every single day, your disciplined army executes this mission without fail. No breaks and no chemical miscalculations that would bring the whole biological system crashing down. Just imagine the sheer volume of transactions happening here. If even a tiny fraction of a percent of these cells decided to go off script, or if they grabbed the wrong molecules, the consequences would be catastrophic. Yet this astronomical number of cycles is completed with a failure rate of basically 0. Section 2. The interpreter's perspective. So, having seen the microscopic science, we have to zoom out for a second and look at the philosophical implications, which our source material dives into quite deeply. The text brings in the perspective of a prominent philosophical interpreter of the century, who conceptually gives this humble red blood cell a voice. They express this marvel by saying, "I am not alone. We are a huge army with one stamp, one duty, one order. Only a power that sees and knows everything could organize us so perfectly." This beautifully synthesizes the awe-inspiring reality of this flawless coordination. By personifying the cell, the interpreter highlights that such perfect organization inherently points toward a profound, all-encompassing coordination, a power that can oversee and manage the whole just as perfectly as the microscopic parts. And this brilliantly illustrates the core argument presented in our material. Random chance simply cannot account for billions of identical units sharing such a disciplined, unified purpose. Think about the nature of chance for a minute. It's inherently chaotic, right? Unpredictable, disorganized. Yet, what we see in our blood is the exact opposite. We are witnessing the absolute peak of structured order. When you have billions of individual entities perfectly executing the exact same complex chemical exchange hundreds of thousands of times a day, the idea that they individually learned or stumbled into this synchronized routine by pure accident starts to entirely defy logistical logic. The sheer statistical improbability of a single cell accidentally stripping its nucleus and developing a flawless hemoglobin affinity for oxygen is already astronomical. To multiply that by billions and have them all act as a single, perfectly unified, disciplined army, our source argues that such rigorous order simply cannot be born from the chaos of random chance.
Section 3. The engineering marvel.
To make this even clearer, let's look at this biological reality through the lens of human engineering and logistics. Imagine a human engineer trying to synchronize millions, let alone billions, of tiny automated units to achieve a single, never-ending goal. They would need a massive, highly visible, incredibly complex control system. You'd be talking sprawling supercomputers, constant communication relays, algorithms constantly adjusting for errors, and just endless maintenance to keep the entire network from collapsing under its own weight. Yet compare that to our biological reality. A single drop of our blood effortlessly and perfectly synchronizes billions of silent units without any visible wires, computers, or external control systems. There is no biological server room. The engineering at play in our biology vastly outpaces anything humanity has ever constructed, operating silently and flawlessly while we simply go about our day. Section 4. The Ultimate Commander. This incredible contrast leads us directly to the ultimate philosophical takeaway from our source material regarding this microscopic army. As we wrap up this explainer, we are left with a pretty profound thought to ponder. Our sources argue that billions of silent soldiers, endlessly completing their rounds without making a single mistake, points inevitably to a single unifying command. The perfect, disciplined order among these countless cells isn't just a biological curiosity. It's a marvel that fundamentally challenges our understanding of organization, intentionality, and design. How does such harmony exist in the dark, silent space of our veins? The next time you feel your pulse, ask yourself, what else in our universe operates with such flawless, silent precision, just waiting to be understood?